Thanks for stopping on our channel, which is dedicated to central heating. And as you can see, I've been doing this a long time. Whether you install or you have heating, hopefully my videos will make a difference, but please leave me a comment in the section below. Lights, action, camera, let's begin. Location, location, location. We hear that everywhere, but here it's absolutely crucial. So we've got two places boilers normally go, either in the kitchen, airing cupboard, but we've got a third one, the loft, which is the worst place you can put a highly efficient boiler. Unless you're really rich, because your fuel bills will go through the roof, obviously. If you're standing here in the kitchen and you've got your sink, you turn on the hot tap, your water will start from the street, go through your garden, past you, past the airing cupboard, along the loft, into the boiler, heated, and then it comes all the way back down again, through the airing cupboard, back to your kitchen sink. So where do you think you're going to save water? Nowhere. Your water bill will definitely go up. And your gas bill, forget low costs, because the minute you turn that tap on, this boiler will fire up on full gas. And by the time all of that lot's gone all the way through, you've wasted a vast amount of water and gas unnecessarily. As well as the boiler being in the loft, you've got very strict rules. The main one is, of course, frost protection, and it has to have two. Now, only boilers with factory fitted frost protection can be installed here. But then the installer has to put a second one in because the pipes burst. So the boiler will look after itself, but the pipes will burst, and that's what we get the damage from. So don't be hoodwinked and the installer says, oh, it's in the boiler, I'm off. That's completely wrong, and they're ripping you off. There has to be a separate frost thermostat and a separate pipe stat. The boiler will kick in on its own, but these will switch on the heating to warm up the house, because obviously it's going to be frosty. Controls. Having the correct controls makes the heating system much more efficient than having no control, or out of control as we call it. Now, if we have a look at this thermostat here, this is made by Honeywell, and it's known as the T6360. Very snappy title. I would imagine this is the most popular room thermostat on the planet, and here's the box that it comes in, and as you can see, it says room thermostat, and inside this is a leaflet, and I'll do close-ups as always. And the very first picture is location, obviously crucial, and installers will see that and they'll say, that's a hall, we'll stick it in a cold drafty hall, that's going to save a fortune. No, it's not. It's going to cost a fortune, because the hall is a cold place, possibly the coldest place in the whole house. And remember, these are overheat thermostats. They're designed to switch heating off. So in the hallway here, that's going to be on the minute you open the front door. The boiler will fire up. And if it's up here, that's going to cost you a small fortune. Even down here, it's going to be bad enough. So if you've been installed in the hallway, ask why. Why? The instructions, all of the manufacturers will say it's a room thermostat. There's a clue, room. If you put it here in the lounge, you're going to get an accurate picture of what's going on in the house, because in the lounge we sit there for 4, 5, 6 hours a day. So obviously we need that to have the right temperature, and normally it's recommended 18 to 22. Usually about 20 should be about right, but you adjust it the way you like. But as long as it's here, I wouldn't want my house controlled by a cold, drafty hallway. Nothing good is going to happen here at all. What we can do, obviously these are brilliant, but eventually they will wear out. Anything that moves, this switches on and off dozens of times per day. So after 5 or 6 years, the contacts will be worn out. They all will be. So it's not a Honeywell problem. All of them will be faulty. And the easiest thing to do is simply go digital. So if you have a look at my other video on smart controls and upgrading, there's a lot more information. But I'm just just reiterating how controls can make a huge difference to your heating bills in that respect. And don't forget, factory ones are best. So if we have a look at this one, this is a Drayton thermostat. It's wired or wireless. So to go wireless, all the manufacturers, it doesn't matter who makes it, will need a box. And there's only 4 wires, so it's dead easy to install or upgrade for any competent gas safe engineer who's done a wiring course. So always remember, make sure that they've been on a Danfoss course or a Honeywell course or Mr. Combi course or a Baxi course. There's several official course centres that your installer should be on and receive a certificate of attendance, because there are no exams. As long as you've been on the day, then that's enough, because you would have learnt. And many manufacturers, for example, Baxi, I've seen, my friend Graham, who I love, I taught him everything he knows. He's going to kill me for that. But anyway, Graham and the other engineers from Baxi do brilliant how to do this, that and the other. So do the other manufacturers. So it's worth looking at and see. If you're an installer, distance learning is brilliant in that respect. Another thing that we have here is that we've got, say, the factory one, which obviously we always recommend. This is the cheapest. This is Worcester Bosch, and it comes wired or wireless, various models they've got, etc. So I always, as I've said in previous videos and comments, use the factory one first, and here's a few shots of some other methods that you can change. So if you've got one in the hallway, the best thing to do and the easiest is remove that, but then we convert the boiler into wireless, and then you can move the this one here or that one there or whatever else that you've got. You can move them around the house, maybe on the dining table, the coffee table, the bedside table. So if you're stuck in bed all day long because you're watching telly, you can switch the heating on and off without having to get up. So there's plenty of things to do, but you know, use controls. There's some brilliant ones out there. It's just a question of location and the age. So we want to get away from all these 230 volt room thermostats, because if it's more than 5 or 6 years of age, you could quite easily upgrade to the more modern digital, which are much sharper, and they're not expensive either. So it's worth getting in touch with a good electrician or your gas safe engineer and upgrade your controls. Servicing and boiler checks. There is a difference. Since the 1920s, 30s, when gas started to come into British homes, there's always been a rule that each gas appliance has to be checked once a year to the manufacturer's specifications. And that's never changed. It's true today. It doesn't mean service. It doesn't mean that we have to strip the whole thing down every 12 months. It just needs to be checked. Every single year, so the first one would be the date of installation, and then 12 months later, 12, 12, 12, all the way down, this has to be filled in by a gas safe registered engineer. So sometimes it might be an installer, but you may not know, because it could be a new build or you rent an apartment. But somebody that's gas safe registered who's can do this job, and they will stamp this, because all these boilers will have a minimum of 2-year guarantee. If it's fitted by a factory recommended engineer, you could be looking at 10 years of parts and labour guarantee, but as long as it's been stamped by an authorised person, which often doesn't happen. And then the customer suddenly gets a huge bill because they've cancelled their guarantee. It wasn't maintained. So we're always asking for customers and yourself, once the boiler's installed, in the 11 months' time, somebody needs to check that the emissions are correct and everything is working well. But expect after 4 or 5 years, some part should be replaced before it breaks down. Your guarantee depends on being stamped every single year, because it's an insurance policy. So it's good for the boiler, and it's definitely good for your pocket, and that stops breakdowns, and that helps to keep your running costs lower. So I hope you've enjoyed this few videos and will spur you into action of getting the boiler checked, getting the right controls and looking after your boiler a little bit better than before, and then we will have much lower bills. So enjoy the video and have a look at my other ones and subscribe as well. I'd like to give you some more hints and tips. First of all, controls. Whatever you've got now, have them removed completely. The room thermostat, the programmer, every single thing, and then replace it with the ones that come with the boiler manufacturer, because they're the cheapest to run. So that's absolutely crucial, because you're going to have that boiler for at least 12 years. Secondly, if you don't want to choose that, then go open therm. So make sure that the boiler you buy has actually got open therm terminals. That means you've got the latest version. There's a good clue there. Secondly, always use the one that comes called RF, which is radio frequency, where you can move it around the house. So we don't need to drill into a wall, into a hall or in the lounge. You just pick it up, move it where you want. When you get your 3 quotes, ask each one, do you need a larger expansion vessel on the return? Because that may be crucial to keeping the pressure at 1 bar at all times. Also, by law, you have to have a magnetic filter and the system filled with inhibitor, and it should be tested each year. If you live south of Birmingham in a hard water area, you will also have to have an anti-scale device as part of your guarantee. So don't let installers say, no, you don't here. It's better to fit it and have your guarantee than the manufacturer cancelling it. Also, as always, all systems have to have a 22mm automatic bypass, and that's a clue, because if that person says no, you don't need it, it's in the boiler or any excuse, don't touch them, say thank you very much, goodbye. Always get 3 quotes. You can go to the Gas Safe Register website, put in your postcode, and there you will see 3 or more local installers that you can trust. Another place would be go to the existing boiler manufacturer or any other boiler manufacturer that you fancy, and they will also have on their homepage, find a local hero, put in your postcode, and there you go. Or you can use your existing one. If you've known that person for a long while and you trust them, just stick with what you know and what you best. Always important, get the longest guarantee possible. The minimum nowadays I would recommend is 8 years, but 10 or 12 is recommended. There are terms and conditions, so make sure you stick to them. After 12 months, that boiler will need to be rechecked again, hopefully by the installer, but any gas safe engineer is capable of doing this job. So make sure this is repeated every 12 months. They check the emission, the water quality of the inhibitor, and they give you a printout of the emissions from the flue. This has to be done every single year to keep up your guarantee. In the installation manual, the manufacturer has given us a CO2 reading. That's carbon dioxide. That tells us how good the boiler is performing and how efficient it is. That's the only figure that you need to worry about. So the lower the number, the more inefficient and costly your boiler is. To keep your boiler in tip-top condition and your heating system, the Yellow Book has got lots of hints and tips that I've picked up over the past 45 plus years on the tools and in the heating industry. So whether you're a homeowner or an installer, or you'd like to learn, the Yellow Fault Finding Book is for you.